can do this. Fabulous Confabulations, Calvin Brumbaugh and Alex Wilson, meant for Rebecca Hughes in high school.
Hi, is this Jonah?
Yeah, who's this?
That's actually what I'm calling for. We met yesterday and talked some. Do you remember me?
Maybe.
Well, as we talked, you eventually asked me out, and I said the only way I'd go out with you is if you remembered my name and the way we met after calling you the next day. So that's what I'm doing. Do you remember?
I'm still kind of half asleep, so I don't really remember much from yesterday, but...
Well, you told me you'd remember no matter what.
Right, of course. I remember that. So we met yesterday.
Alright, what did I do yesterday? I remember getting up in the morning and having to go to the bathroom because of something I ate the other day. After getting dressed, I went to Max's house, who was sleeping on his couch waiting for me. We ended up eating at a restaurant which served food I don't think was cooked right. No, wait. We ate there the day before that, which is what made me throw up in the morning. Max had actually called me to come over so he could show me his guitar. His new guitar. Oh, hold on. Max called me to pick him up. I drove him to his house where Kurt was waiting for me after letting himself into Max's house, and that's when he showed me and Kurt his new guitar. Okay, so then Kurt convinces me to drive off to the park so he can show me something. Kurt told me he learned this new ability he called ghost shoes, where he can make his shoes move ahead of him like magic. Wait, that doesn't seem right. That sounds like something I dreamed of. Kurt must have shown me something else, but I can't remember what. Whatever. I remember afterwards leaving and seeing a pretty girl coming towards the park. She walked up to me and said, "You're hot, want to make out?" That last part I imagined. I actually just hurried into my car feeling timid, drove off, and later stopped on the side of the road to throw up for the second time that day for the same reason. And so after that, I got home, ate something, and went to my room and practiced guitar. After a while, I hear tapping in my window and look to see that it's my artsy friend Barry. Once I let him in, he excitedly tells me of this surreal photograph idea he had for a competition that would require placing something up against the ceiling and bring a message to something I can't remember. He then says he needs to do it in my room since he shares a room with his brother at his house and he won't let him. And so reluctantly I agree. As a thanks, he taught me how to make an origami crane, which is pretty cool, I guess, but I ended up forgetting how by the time he left. Later, I remember driving to the library to study. I got kind of bored after a while of reading, but then I saw this attractive-looking girl who was walking around by herself. I got up and started talking with her about random stuff. I think I just imagined that also. After the library, I went home and got the mail, finding a letter that was given to the wrong address. I went to the listed address to deliver the letter, hoping a pretty girl would be there, but instead it was just some weird guy. Later, I drove to the mall, but got lost, heading into the graveyard where I met this crazy guy who spoke to me about the curses the graveyard contained. Wait, I think I just saw a movie like that. The guy helped me get to the mall, but we walked around looking for nothing. So after that, I think I drove around to the gas station,
Hello? Jonah, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
So have you figured it out?
No. I'm sorry, I can't seem to remember.
Oh, that's too bad.
Can you tell me your name now?
Well, I don't see what good it would do. Maybe it's best just to forget this whole thing.
You're probably right.
Well, it was nice meeting you, even if you don't remember it. Maybe we'll still see each other at the group jamboree concert.
Group jamboree concert?
I remember mentioning that yesterday at the library.
Yeah, I've always wanted my first concert to be a group jamboree concert. They're probably one of my favorite modern bands.
Me too. I've been waiting for them to have one around here so I could go.
Her name was Alessandra Renton, but I thought I had imagined that.
I can't believe this.
What are you staring at?
What?
What are you staring at? Oh.
to thank a couple people. First off, I'd like to thank Tower of Youth for recognizing talent when they see it. I'd also like to thank Mrs. Heath for pushing us to make good movies. Thank you, Mrs. Heath. Great director. And most off, I like to thank my friend Calvin. We've made many movies together. And he worked really hard on this one. Even if that was me in front of the camera, he did all the work. So thank you.
Hello, I'm Calvin Brumbaugh, the writer, director, editor, and producer of this video you just saw. If any seemed a little awkward and confusing, it's because I had to cut it down to under 5 minutes, and so, you know, the last few shots were shown fast when they weren't supposed to, and so the ending seemed to broken the shouldn't. Other than that, however, I am fairly satisfied with this video, and I would like to thank the judges of the Tower Youth, especially Bill Bronson, for liking it. It's very encouraging. My heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
Yes. I would also like to thank anyone who participated or was involved in this video in any way, especially the wonderful and talented cast members, of which some of them are behind me, but many of them could not make it because they couldn't remember the day this was on. And I'd also like to acknowledge the major influence many filmmakers have had on me. Some of them include Paul Thomas Anderson, Michel Gondry, Martin Scorsese, Satoshi Kon, Charlie Kaufman, Wes Anderson, Park Chan-wook, Takashi Miike, David Lynch, and many, 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 many more. Their work has inspired me more than any others, and I owe them a lot. I'd also like to acknowledge the influence my broadcasting teacher, Mrs. Heath, has had on this particular video. It was a very strenuous process to get this video produced. When I pitched the idea to Mrs. Heath and said that we'd be fitting 100 shots into 5 minutes, meaning that each shot would clock out to about 3 seconds on average, she just exclaimed, she was like, "No, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's too different." And then I kept saying, it would turn out unique and it would be embraced for being different. And so she said, "No, it can't do it. I've written 5 books. I know what I'm talking about. I've interviewed the governor. I know what I'm talking about. I've written 8 books. It's too weird." And so that grew this vindictive urge inside me to prove her wrong. And it has upped my effort and my ambition. And I feel that this video will not turn out the way it has without that. Anyways, I'm ranting. I would just like to leave off this acceptance speech by sharing a little song that has inspired me all the time. All right. If you want your paradise, simply look around and view it. And if you want to do it, try to change the world. There's nothing to it. All right, thank you again. And my heart goes out to you all.
Hold on a minute. Having Calvin as a student is a really inspiring experience, as you can see. I'm sorry, Bill. But he's a perfect example of the idea that creativity this is the only medium where you can have a vision and show it to the rest of the world. What's inside of your head can be shown to somebody in like no other medium. And I have to admit that yes, Calvin is right. I went, how can this work? And he proved me wrong. And he's had 5 projects now, and the technical quality has gone up with each production until this point. So, thank you, everybody.
I'd like to thank my dad. I just want to say that this is why a physician runs this program.